Hello, Claremont. Welcome back after the half-term holiday. Whether you're at home or you're in school at the moment, welcome back. We're always pleased to see you, and I am absolutely delighted and made up by the fact that we will all be together, socially distanced, of course, from the 8th of March when we open our school more widely and welcome back all of our pupils in line with the government guidance. I'm really excited and really happy about that, and really looking forward to seeing you all again and getting ourselves back underway. Now, this past year has been a very challenging and difficult year, but when you have challenges and difficulties, they are opportunities to overcome those challenges and difficulties. And whether that is a personal or emotional challenge, or whether it's a technological challenge and you found things difficult accessing technology, or whether it's a learning challenge and you found it really hard to keep up with your learning with all of this disruption, we have ways of overcoming them, and we will be putting all of that into place when you come back and join us from the 8th of March. It's been very difficult for children in school as well. You've been working in your bubbles, you've been only seeing certain numbers of your friends, you've been living with some restrictions, and we are going to have to carry on with some of those restrictions as we move forward. We're going to have to carry on with our bubbles, although we will probably return to our bubble sizes that we had throughout the autumn term and how we wanted to start the spring term. We also need to keep up with our, we also need to keep up with our social distancing and our staggering of break times and lunch times and start and end of the day, although we will be returning to more of our normal school day timings, and more information for all of that will follow next week when we've got all of our ducks in a row and we know exactly what we are hoping to achieve. Of course, we will have to be flexible and resilient and react to the changes that happen. However, as spring comes, as the days get lighter, as the sun starts shining more, we can step forward with a real feeling of hope, anticipation and excitement. So I'm really looking forward to all of that starting. Now, my assembly in school this week was talking about Lent, which is the period of time leading up to Easter, the 40 days and 40 nights leading up to Easter, where Christians make a sacrifice. They give something up in memory of, as Christians believe, the 40 days and nights that Jesus spent in the desert where he was tested by the devil. Now, sacrifice is a really difficult concept, but it can boil down to something very simple. It boils down to doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. It boils down to putting others before yourself. And Her Majesty the Queen even went so far to talk about that when she was talking about the vaccine yesterday, and people getting vaccinated and thinking of the bigger picture. So it goes back to what I was saying about Mahatma Gandhi when he says about thinking globally but acting locally. Do what you can to make a difference. Do that small thing that makes such a difference to everybody else, because big things are made up of lots and lots of tiny little things. If you think about our bodies are big, powerful organisms, but they're made up of tiny microscopic cells. And if something goes wrong with one of those cells, as we've seen with the coronavirus, it can have very serious consequences. So it's all about everybody trying to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And I firmly believe that. And as we go forwards together, that's something we'll be focusing on. When everybody comes back to school in a week or so, we'll be focusing on how you're feeling, what you're thinking about, how things have affected you, and what you want the future to look like. So everything will all be about you. Everything will be about what you need in order to make yourselves be in the best possible place to continue with your learning. We all know, as the psychologist Abraham Maslow stated, if you are not feeling great, if you are not feeling safe, if you are not feeling happy, you will not be in a position to maximize, make the best of your learning opportunities. So we'll be working really, really hard to welcome you back with open arms, restart our school year properly, rebuild our school community so that we can improve everybody's well-being and improve our outcomes, improve how well we do with everything from our day-to-day lives to our academic subjects and our learning. Now, this week, the teachers have been doing lots of new learning, as have our support staff, as have our office staff, our lunchtime staff, our cleaners, our premises staff. But the teachers have been learning even more about how to make Microsoft Teams work for us. And it's something that we are going to continue to develop as we go forward. Remember, no learning is a waste of time. Even if you can't think how it's going to affect you straight away, it's paying in the bank. It's an investment, and learning is an investment. And we're making an investment in you guys, because when I'm older and I'm grayer and I'm not working anymore, you guys are going to be the ones in charge of our country. You guys are going to be the ones making policy. You guys are going to be the ones looking after me if I'm poorly. So we're going to make that investment in you, an investment in time, in money, and in love and in care. But thinking about technology, I wanted to read a story today about another famous lady as we move forward towards International Women's Day. And this lady is a lady called Ada Lovelace, and she was a computer programmer who lived in England from 1815 to 1852. Here's a great question to start us off. What happens when imagination and technology collide? Well, Ada herself was the physical embodiment of such a collision. Her father was the poet Lord Byron, and her mother, Anne Isabel Milbank, loved maths. Perhaps the combination of her parents' sensibilities was what made Ada so special. Her unique view of the world meant that she didn't just dream of being a fairy, she also knew she'd need to find a way to help her fly. Ada grew up during the Industrial Revolution, a time when scientists and artists gathered to discuss new inventions and creations. At one such meeting, Ada saw the mathematician Charles Babbage demonstrate a mechanical adding machine. Ada asked Charles to mentor her, but he turned her down at first. He was working on something new, the analytical engine, inspired by mechanical looms used in the textile industry to make clothes. To prove herself to him, Ada translated an Italian article about his new machine into English. She added her own notes, making her translation nearly 3 times as long as the original article. She understood that the analytical engine could be programmed to do limitless tasks, and described a formula for programming it to calculate a mathematical sequence of numbers known as the Bernoulli numbers. Ada had a vision of a general-purpose computer a century before anyone would build one. Although Ada and Charles finally worked together, they never built the analytical engine. Ada's contributions went unappreciated until the 1950s, so over 100 years after she died, when her translation of the article was discovered. Her work on the Bernoulli numbers is considered the first ever computer program, and Ada the first computer programmer. Ada believed firmly in what she called poetical science, the synthesis of creativity and technology, and that human imagination could be combined with technology to kickstart the future. Now, if anybody wanted to write what I thought about education and what I thought schools should do, they've just written it there. Poetical science, the synthesis of creativity and technology. You could be the next Ada Lovelace. You could have an amazing idea. And what you need to do is think about how you're going to develop that. And if people don't listen to you about your idea, keep trying. J.K. Rowling, when she wrote Harry Potter, was turned down by at least 10 publishing houses. That means there were 10 companies that thought her book wasn't any good. Oops. Big mistake. Huge. So, When you've got an idea and you believe in yourself, follow it through to the end. Believe in it, and people will believe in you, just like I believe in all of you. Okay, we've reached that time of the assembly where it's our chance to celebrate all of the achievements that our children have been making with their class dojo points. Remember, the simplest way to get dojo points is to do the right thing. And the reason that you should do it is because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do to help you with your learning. It's the right thing to do to help you with your own personal development. And it's the right thing to do to help everybody else around you. Sometimes you have to make that little sacrifice of what you want for the greater good, for the success of the wider community. And that is a really important skill. Okay, I'm going to start with our 100 certificates. I've got quite a lot of these today. So, well done to Tolu. Well done to Shai. Well done to Ria. Well done to Mansour. Well done to Maya. Well done to Alex. Well done to Jemima. Well done to Hassan. Congratulations, Farhad. And Deshay. And Amir. Well done to Mustafa. And to Ishal. And Dominic. And Benjamin James. And Alfie. And Lewis. And Ayat. And Ezrom. Well done to Gina. Congratulations, Yusufa. Congratulations, Theo. Well done, Sully. And Narayan. And Lyra. And Kian. And Jara. Great work, Jacob. And Haley. And Dominic. And Dean, and Alian, and Alina, and Isa, and Adia. Fantastic. Great, great effort. 100 is the first step on the stepping stone to even greater success, and you'll be getting your red badges with your certificates either later on today or when you come back to school, depending on whether you are in school today or whether you were at home. Okay, 200s now. Excellent work, Kyle and Zayn and Mokshita. Well done to Layla and Amina and Soraya. Fabulous work. And finally, I have got one 350, and this one goes to Leo. Well done, Leo, for your yellow badge. Those of you who got 200 will be getting your orange badge. Well, that's enough for me today. I've got lots and lots of hard work to do to make sure that we get everything in place for when you come back to school. But like I said, I couldn't be happier, and this couldn't have come at a better time. Spring has finally sprung at Claremont, and we are so happy to be seeing everybody back as soon as possible after the 8th of March. Right, have an amazing weekend, keep safe, read lots, do some times tables or some maths. Remember, we miss you, we love you, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care, everybody.